In this tutorial, we'll set up the LOD system in Unreal Engine 5.6. So the LOD means the level of detail. For example, if you are far away, we need to render the low quality assets, and if we get closer, we need to render the high quality assets. So this way we optimize the performance of our game and keep the gameplay smooth. Alright, so here we are inside the Blender. So I'm using this software to make or to edit my assets. So here I got this building. So I've created 3 different versions. We got the LOD 0, which means the highest. This one has the highest poly. So everything is in details. And for the LOD number 1, so it's a little bit less detailed. This one has only 400 vertices. So we're only keeping geometry at the bottom alone. And finally, we have the building LOD number 2. So this one has only 31 vertices. So we're going to be using it to load our building from distance. From here, you can tell much between this and the LOD number 0. All right, so the first step is going to be to export all these LODs. So the 3 versions of the 3 copies of our building. So I'm going to be selecting the first LOD, and we can jump to File, Export as FBX. And now for the settings. So first, I'd like to be able to export my texture. So what we can change the path mode from auto to copy. And we can check this box here so that we can embed the textures. Next, we need to limit what is exported to only what is selected, the selected objects only. So we can check this option so that we can limit the export to only what is selected. We don't want to export everything at once. We want to export the LOD number 0 alone. After that, we can scroll a little bit down. So here for the geometry, it's always good to switch it to face. And since we don't have any animation, I'm going to just uncheck this animation box. Same thing here for the armature. We don't have any armature applied. So now we're good. I'm going to just call this one building dash LOD 0. And you can save it. All right, so now for the second LOD, I'm going to just hide number 0, LOD 0, and we can load the first LOD, this one here. Let me just select it. Can go to File, Export as FBX, and we can add, let me just click on this plus so that you can switch or add one here. So now we're going to be exporting the LOD number 1. You can just export, and let's do the same thing for the final LOD, which is LOD number 2. Let's select it from here, go to File, Export, FBX, add 1, increment this by 1, and we can export it. Alright, so here we are inside Unreal Engine. So what we need to do right now is to import our building. So I'd like to start by importing the LOD 0. So that's all we need to do here. Let me just export this. And for the textures and materials, I want to check this box here so that we can import the materials and the textures. For this static mesh, it's always a good approach to, for example, a building. We're exporting a building. So it's good to declare that. So it's a static mesh, not a skeleton. So let me just select it from here. Static mesh, and we can just click on import. All right, so there we go. So the import is done. We don't have any problems. So now I'd like to simply drag my building and drop it here. Let me just scroll back a little bit, and we can take my building a little bit up here. Also, we can spin it so that you can see it better. Let me just spin it by 180 degrees. Okay, you can press Alt. Let me just double click on it first. Can press Alt so that you can switch around. Also for the lighting, I like to tweak it a little bit. Okay, I'm using this setup so that you can see the details here. You can see the change of details because it's barely visible to see the details if you are far away. All right, so now let's load the other LODs. So what we have to do, we have to double click on our static mesh from here so that we can edit it. And let me just expand this panel here. And on the right side, we can scroll down till we find the LOD settings. So first we have the LOD picker. We have the LOD number 0, and we have the LOD settings. And inside these settings, we have the option to import LODs. So you can just click here, and let's import the first level. So you can just click, and let me select the first level here. Double click on it. All right, so now it's loaded. Let me just go back here so that we can see our building. There we go. But now if we go back, we're not going to see any change. So there is no change. So we are stuck to the LOD number 0, even if it's auto here. So for example, if you change it to 0, it's going to remain the same. So the reason why we're having this problem has to do with this Nanite enabled. So basically the Nanite is going to override our LOD system. So what we have to do, we have to turn it off. So what we can do, we can jump here to the top and we can turn off this Nanite settings, enable Nanite support. We can just uncheck that box. And if you scroll down, so we have to click on this apply changes. So let me just click on it. So now we're good. So make sure that the LOD here is set to auto so that it can switch automatically. And let me just go back. So there we go. So we have a change. But the texture for the second material, for the second building is not loaded. Let me just fix that. So I'm going to just export the texture for my LOD number 1 building. We can simply drag it and drop it inside our assets, content. And we can do right click, go to this typing or research, and we can search for material. We need to create a new material. Let me just call it LOD number 1. So it's going to be building underscore LOD number 1. And we can double click on it. And inside it here, so we can simply drag my texture right here and assign the RGB to the base color. All right, so after that, we can just apply, save. So let's go back to the building LOD 0 settings. And here, if we scroll to the top, you're going to be seeing element number 0. So this one is the material of the LOD number 0. And the element number 1 is going to be the LOD, the material of the LOD number 1. So from here, I'm going to just search for LOD number 1. This one right here. So now if you go back, there we go. So now we are loading that second building. So it's not perfectly loaded because of the material, but you get the idea. So this is how it's done. So if you'd like to add more levels of LODs, you can just scroll down here till you find again the same settings, the same LOD import, and we can import the second level. Click on it and we can load LOD number 2. Double click on it. All right, so now it's loaded. Let me just go back even further. So there we go. We are loading. So this is LOD number 2. So let me just check here. It has 95 vertices. So it's a little bit compressed, or it was just 32 in Blender. Now it's 1600 and let's get closer. Now it's 4000 vertices. All right, so now let's check that out inside Unreal Engine. So now if you go back, you're going to be seeing the change. So now this is LOD number 1, LOD number 0. All right, so that's it for this tutorial. We learned how to load LODs inside Unreal Engine, the latest version, which is 5.6. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them down below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in future projects. Take care.